for everyone who knows who I am. I'm going to admit it. Whoever is the professor who said about Spongebob needs to be fired at once because he's just a cartoon character. And I really love SpongeBob SquarePants. So, yeah. Here we go. Usually I say hi, everyone, and welcome to SJW Watch, but this is not just any SJW Watch. This is the one with the professor who is the straw that broke the camel's back, to quote the Flying Dutchman. And yes, you heard me right. Because a university professor just said that SpongeBob SquarePants promotes violent and racist colonialism, and her name is Holly Ann Barker. It says where natives relocated by the U.S. government for nuclear testing. No, I'm going to say this. University of Washington, if you get my message, University of Washington, I'm going to go ahead and say, fire this woman, please. Just fire this woman for dissing a children's show. I mean, she just, is angry, to be honest. And, well, I got this source that says, SpongeBob SquarePants has been accused of normalizing the colonization of indigenous land by a professor of University of Washington. The children's cartoon, which marks the 20th anniversary this year, was criticized in a report by Professor Holly Ann Barker. But yes, before I'm going to get to that source, I'm going to tell you guys that this is no secret that I love SpongeBob. Why do I love SpongeBob? Because that's the show I watched when I was 6 years old. After I get back from the pool. And watch it at my friend's house. SpongeBob. And it's really, really wonderful. Because that's always been my favorite show. And even with Steven Hillenburg left, it's a decline, but I still watch it. And before Steven Hillenburg came back, I still watch it. Although, what is she saying? It just disgusts me. It disgusts me. No? Alright, the article, she wrote, SpongeBob SquarePants and its friends play a role in normalizing the settler colonial takings of indigenous land while erasing the ancestral Bikinian people from their non-fictional homelands. And she's... Okay, yeah, I'm gonna skip to that, although I'm gonna continue the article, the top article showed a picture of fucking Trump, to be honest. And yes, I'm gonna talk about how am I an independent thinker later on, but for now, I'm gonna cover this article. The character SpongeBob is a friendly sea sponge who lives in a pineapple under the sea among the other residents of the town called Bikini Bottom. Yes, it's just a fucking kid's show. You do not diss one of the greatest animated series ever on Nickelodeon. Why can't you diss Cartoon Network with Christina Miller, Punching in a Channel, and of course, just ruin the classics and make them cash grabs. You know? She is the Cartoon Network version of, any leader. Yeah, like I say. But you are part of the Christina Miller regime. At University of Washington, if you hear me, fire Professor Barker for making that statement. You need to fire her. And back to the article. Professor Barker believes that this is reference to a real-life bikini atoll in the Marshall Islands in the Pacific Ocean. The natives of Bikini Atoll were relocated in 1946 so the U.S. military could use the area for nuclear testing during the Cold War, which drew criticism from the media after it was revealed that inhabitants were left without adequate food or water to prevent them from starvation. Later, nuclear tests left islands and atoll contaminated enough with enough radiation to affect food grown in the soil, which met the island's inhabitants unable to return. Those who did not experience issues as stillbirth, miscarriages, and genetic abnormalities. This has given rise to fan theories that the cartoon inhabitants of Bikini Bottom owe the mutation to their testing. Yeah, there's some episodes where they, I don't see it. I don't have a problem with them with the episodes with a nuclear explosion. Like with Worlds portrayed by SpongeBob, the issues with North Korea. Squidward got a pie in the face, and Mr. Krabs not liking the keys, and Plankton broke the atom, molecule by molecule. And there was the explosion. I'm sorry, but this woman, Professor Barker, is part of the Christina Miller regime. I bet Christina Miller of Cartoon Network told her that, got in contact with her. It's that Professor Barker believes that as an American character, allowing it inhabited an area that natives had no choice but to leave, to show his privilege, not caring about the designation of nuclear bomb. Really? 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 You said that? He's a sponge, he's not too bright, but he's been a role model for children for 20 years. For kids and adults who still watch SpongeBob. And yes, I still watch SpongeBob. What's your point? What's your point? It's just SpongeBob for crying out loud. For fuck's sake, it's a children's cartoon. She also points out that the cultural appropriation of Pacific cultural and SpongeBob's grandparents with Hawaii-style shirts, homes in the shape of the pineapples, tikis, and Easter Island hats, and the sound of steel guitars perpetuate stereotypes of religion. Well, I'm not gonna get on to that. Hawaii has steel guitars, and of course, and it has pineapple, and they have the tropical shirts, but you don't see Hawaii complaining about it. You don't see Hawaii complaining about it. It's just, like I said, just a kid show. Give it a rest. Give it a rest, Professor Barker. Now back to the article. She claims that because of the themes children have become add culture to the ideology that includes the U.S. character residing on another people's land. We should be uncomfortable with the hamburger-loving American communities, the occupation of Bikini's Lagoon, and the way that erodes every aspect. I can't believe I'm at the University of Washington. If you get this podcast, do me a favor. Please, if you want to talk to Professor Holly Barker, just ask for her, and then give her an explanation for what she had done, criticized SpongeBob, which has been a role model. I mean, if your kids watch SpongeBob, after what she did, fire her, please. Would you please fire her, University of Washington? Because this is the straw that broke the camel's back, to quote the Flying Dutchman. You know? It's just, of course, you know, she is the bubble bath to my SpongeBob. And, of course, and Christina Miller is the plankton to my Mr. Krabs. You know, the president of Cartoon Network, Christina Miller, she's the plankton to my Mr. Krabs. And Professor Hunter is the bubble bath to my SpongeBob. You know, you are disrespecting the former marineologist's work. He is the legend, you know? Steven Hillenburg. You're disrespecting his work. That means you're disrespecting the dead. You have no respect for the dead. I mean, I don't have a problem with Steven Hillenburg. He did Rocko's Modern Life, but before that, he was a marine biologist. And he's, of course, one of my, you know, he was one of my role models. And he made a #1 kids show, SpongeBob SquarePants. You know? Like I say, you have no right to disrespect SpongeBob. You have no right to disrespect the dead. And you have no right to criticize a children's show. If I was a professor of University of Washington, or a dean of it, or a dean of that university, I would fire you. I would have you fired for that. Professor Barker. Next time, think before you litter. Yes, another SpongeBob reference. Okay, guys, that's going to be about it for this episode of SJW Watch. And, yes, I'm going to go. And I will see you guys on the next SJW Watch, if I return on winter.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.